I'm tired of hearing about how physical they are. What about us? Three, two, one, biggest stage of them all.
Showtime, baby.
It is finally here.
He's going toward the end zone. 35, 25, still on his feet. There he goes. They catch him from behind.
Turning it upfield.
Caught.
Touchdown, San Diego.
And he is in for the touchdown.
Explode. Look out. And caught.
Intercepted.
Sacked.
They get him. What a play. Oh, what a throw it is. Huge play.
Untouched.
Run it in. And what a throw. Oh, it's caught at the goal line for a touchdown. Going deep down the far sideline. It is caught. Touchdown.
It's going to touch the ball. He's going to go all the way. It's a touchdown. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
That is unbelievable.
The NFL on CBS is back. Preseason action tonight. The Indianapolis Colts hosting the defending Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Phil Simms. Excited to be back for the NFL on CBS, and a good one to open up our coverage this season with the Colts and the Packers. And Phil, look, it has been basically the biggest story of the preseason, and it's Peyton Manning, the neck surgery in May. The questions out there, the biggest one being, who's going to start under center for the Colts week 1 against Houston?
And you're asking me this because you think I have the answer.
Yeah.
Well, of course I don't really have the definitive answer, but I'll read the tea leaves for everybody out there real quick. Here we are in the third preseason game, and what do the Colts do? They bring in a 16-year veteran, Kerry Collins, so that tells me they have major concerns that Peyton Manning is not going to be ready for the opening game, but also it tells me they have major concerns about their backup, Curtis Painter, that he's the guy to lead them early in the season if they do need him.
Peyton Manning, 14th year in the NFL. He has never missed a start through his 13 years in the league, so this is a situation that the Colts really have never faced before. Okay, let's turn it over to the Green Bay Packers now, and this is a new role. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. You're on top of the football world. The question is, how do they handle it?
Well, how do you handle success? I think a lot of people call it Super Bowl hangover, and it plagues a lot of teams through the history of the NFL. Mike McCarthy told us since 2006, when he took over as the Green Bay Packers head coach, he's been planning for his team to teach them how to handle success. Well, the things you can't count on, everywhere you go this year, everybody's going to play you. They're going, I want a piece of that Super Bowl champion. It's a rough league. It's tough. To repeat is almost impossible. It's going to be a tough road for the Green Bay Packers.
We are moments away from the opening kick. The Packers and the Colts right now. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team. Send it downstairs. Check in with Sam Ryan.
And Ian, speaking of Mike McCarthy, some key things he's looking for tonight from his players. He wants to see his starters play well, yet he told me he wants to get the young guys in there as often as possible in the second half of the game to see what they can do. He also said, don't be surprised to see them run the ball tonight. As for the Colts, Jim Caldwell told me he's looking to simplify the defense tonight, and they will too go to the ground game. He also really wants to evaluate his players in pads as opposed to shorts. Guys?
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Indianapolis has won the toss. They will receive, and Mason Crosby will kick it off for the Green Bay Packers. Joe LaFedge, rookie out of Rutgers, who has opened some eyes in training camp, is the deep man for Indy. And we're underway. The Colts and the Packers, week 3 of the preseason. LaFedge is going to take it out of the end zone. And LaFedge brought down right at the 20-yard line. Packers' Pat Lee getting downfield on special teams. And there is Curtis Painter now in his third year in the NFL out of Purdue. What are you looking for out of Painter tonight?
Well, if I could go down there right now and whisper in Curtis Painter's ear, I would say, let it go. Play loose, play free, and don't be worried about mistakes, because unless he lets it go, we're not going to be able to see his true talent, and it's not going to give him a chance to be the opening day starter in case Peyton Manning's not there.
Played in 2 games back in 2009 as a rookie, 6th-round pick. Can he be a quality backup in this league? That's the question surrounding Curtis Painter. On first down, double tight end set. Painter to throw. Lets it rip and drop. It's Reggie Wayne. Take a look at the starting offense for the Indianapolis Colts. And a lot of shifting on this offensive line. Anthony Costanzo, first-round pick out of Boston College, at left tackle. It's Wrights at left guard. Then Ryan Deem now in at right guard. They're giving Jeff Linkenbach a shot at right tackle. Backs and receivers, this is a talented group, and they are not at full strength. Anthony Gonzalez sitting this one out. Wide receiver Austin Collie as well. Both dealing with injuries. Both feel like they'll be ready to go week 1 against the Texans. Nickel package here for Green Bay, and a dime makes them pay. Joseph Adai with the running lane. Good blocks from Deem and Linkenbach. It's an 18-yard rip for Adai. Green Bay Packers defensively number 2 last year in scoring defense behind just Pittsburgh. A lot of that has to do with B.J. Raji, the bust-out year that he had out of Boston College. Linebackers, there's still a battle at that outside linebacker spot. Eric Walden is hoping to sew it up. And in the secondary, this is a very talented group led by Charles Woodson and Tremont Williams, the cornerbacks. So a new set of downs for Indianapolis. That went down as a 19-yard run officially. For the running play, it's Adai. Joseph Adai, new contract, 3 years, $14 million. Good all-around ability for Adai, and a good block by Saturday up front.
I think when we talked to Jim Caldwell on Wednesday, he just said, boy, I'd like to get back to running the football. People don't respect us. You know, years ago, if they played pass defense, we would go up in there and take advantage of it. He's unhappy with the running game, the power of the offensive line, so that's the reason for the focus of it tonight.
Out near midfield, and this time Green Bay prepared for Adai. Desmond Bishop and B.J. Raji. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. Well, Joseph Adai, now in his 6th year in the league. Last year, only 8 games because of the shoulder injury. Durability has been the question the last few years.
Yeah, it has been, but very talented. I think the shifting of this offensive line, looks good for the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're bigger, more physical up front, and it should help the running game.
We'll call it a 3rd and 4 now, working out of the gun. Rush is coming. Painter is dropped. A sack from Clay Matthews. He had 13 and a half last season. Fell a few votes shy of winning Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
Clay Matthews, top of your screen to the left, coming on the outside, just beats Linkenbach. Just too much speed, and you put Clay Matthews on one side. You got Charles Woodson blitzing from the other side sometimes. Really tough to deal with the edges when you play against this Packer defense.
So the Colts went backward to their last 2 plays. McAfee is punting. Chaston West in his first year out of Fresno State. The return man takes a bounce. Up in the air. Colts trying to save. They did not. Touchback. It's going to come out to the 20. We'll see Aaron Rodgers in the Packers offense when we come back to Indy. Just underway here in Indianapolis, the Packers and the Colts. Green Bay offense on the field for the first time. A 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Last year, number 10 in the NFL in scoring, just over 24 points per game. Number 9 in total offense, nearly 360 yards per game. 2 tight end set with Finley and Crabtree. Running play to Ryan Grant, and Grant's second effort will get him to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a half a yard. Cavell Connor there defensively. Aaron Rodgers, now Phil, we can say definitively one of the premier quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, I know this. He's very talented. There's nothing he cannot do on the football field. Arguably maybe the best thrower of the football in the NFL today. And he talked about being a starter now. He says, it's now about working on my timing and tempo, game management. It's not necessarily, I need good stats and really perform well. He just knows he's got to get ready for the start of the season.
On a 2nd and 10, Rodgers has the protection. Little dump off for Grant. Ryan Grant returning from injury. Missed most of the season, 15 games because of an ankle injury last year suffered in week 1. Green Bay offense, the only change. T.J. Lang at left guard. Darren Collins signed with Arizona. The backs and receivers. Greg Jennings is out of this game. Jennings injuring himself earlier this week, a knee injury, so it will be James Jones getting most of the reps at that other wide receiver spot with Driver. We'll see Jordy Nelson as well. They'll spread it out here with a 3rd and 3, a 4-receiver set. So many weapons on this Green Bay offense for Rodgers to work with. Starks in there at running back. Rodgers, sideline throw, and it's short of a first down. Jordy Nelson complete, but they come up short. Gerard Powers over there defensively to help make sure it's 4th down.
Well, you want to get work like it's a real season game, and you're going to get that here in this building with this defense and pass rush. That time Aaron Rodgers, not a lot of time to make that decision. The pressure was there. The throw was a little off target.
And Tim Mastay will punt it for Green Bay now in his 2nd year from Kentucky. 43.9 yards per punt in his rookie season. And David Gilreath, rookie out of Wisconsin, the return man. Fair catch called for at the 25, a 46-yard punt. Painter will get another crack at this Packers defense when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by Sprint. All together now.
How do you think this conversation's going? Kerry Collins, Peyton Manning.
Might be the first time Peyton's ever been in a conversation where the other guy asks more questions than he does. So it's Kerry Collins will be peppering him for information about the offense all night long. I saw it in pregame warmups too.
False start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Walt Anderson, our referee. Ryan Dean, keep in mind, he was the starter at right tackle. He's now getting a shot at right guard as they mix and match a bit on that O-line.
Well, this is a Colts offense. Curtis Painter, the first time he's actually worked in a preseason game with a game plan and the starters. So this is his chance to really play well.
On first down, running play for Adai. Tried to zigzag on the inside. Desmond Bishop, inside linebacker, sliding over to make the play, limits him to a 2-yard gain.
You know, so many times when Curtis Painter gets into the game, of course, he gets no practice time. Peyton's going to take over 90% of all reps every single day out there. So everybody, Jim Caldwell, all the players say he is practicing really, really well. He just needs to take it from the practice field to the game.
Yeah, we talked to Bill Polian about Curtis Painter. He's the architect of this team. Said, look, he's a great worker. He's studious. He prepares. You couldn't ask any more of him than he's given us so far. Yet, they did bring in Kerry Collins this week with the idea that Manning might not be available week 1. Charles Woodson with that tip ball. He was trying to hit Pierre Garçon.
Well, this is something you're gonna miss with Peyton not being in there to the right side. Wherever Charles Woodson is, you've got to be alert that the blitz is coming. They had a little screen set up. The Colts love to throw screens against blitzes, but the timing, maybe not changing protections. Of course, you're going to miss that with the backup quarterback in with this Indianapolis offense.
And good to see Woodson back. Broke his collarbone in the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Shotgun on 3rd and long. Painter set up the dump off for Adai. Trying to make plays upfield. Adai will come up well short of a first down. Again, Desmond Bishop over there leading that charge defensively. It's a 7-yard pickup and 4th down for Indianapolis.
Yeah, just not a good start. You know, when you're running the offense, you always want starters. In other words, get us going, get us a first down so you can get in the flow. They had a chance their very first play of the game, and Curtis Painter just actually threw the football too hard to Reggie Wayne.
Last week, a 16-3 loss to Washington. They had 41 yards and 1 first down in the first half. McAfee the punt. Chadston West is deep. West. He is buried at the 19-yard line. Good punt. 54 yards. We are scoreless here in the first. 1-1 in the preseason, had a 28-20 win over Arizona last week. They were able to keep their Super Bowl core intact. And player for player, this could be the most talented team in the NFL. Jordy Nelson in as the 3rd receiver on a 1st and 10 from the 19 for the Packers. Rodgers on a quick throw for Nelson. And Nelson getting to the outside just short of a first down. Jacob Lacey over there defensively. Aaron Rodgers, it's funny, the numbers were not quite as impressive as they were in the 2 previous years, yet he had a better year.
I think he came through in the clutch so many times for him. Of course, in the last couple games of the year and every playoff game when they needed to play, he made it.
About a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio for his career.
So much for working on the run game, right?
That's what we were expecting.
Yeah.
Rodgers 2nd and 1, steps up. Oh, there's the run game. It's Rodgers with the slide and a first down for Green Bay.
Well, when you look at the Green Bay Packers, I think there's no doubt they want to spread the field. They want a one back in the backfield with him. That'll be Ryan Grant or whoever it is starts. Spread it out so it's easy. Look at this. These receivers are going to go vertical down the field, and it's just easy for Aaron Rodgers to see the coverage, where the blitz is coming from, but most importantly there, the running lanes. He can escape when somebody's not open. That's what he likes about spreading the offense out.
Packers out across the 30-yard line. James Starks, a postseason standout last year for the Packers, gets the carry and picks up 2. Lacey and Ernie Sims making his Indianapolis debut at linebacker, making the stop.
Well, they like Ernie Sims. This is really the perfect fit for him in this defense. You know, he was drafted by Detroit, but they like smaller, faster linebackers here. He fits that mold. They believe in keeping it simple and running to the football.
Sims, a first-round pick back in 2006, later played with Philadelphia. Shotgun on 2nd and 8. Little floater and broken up. Tommy Harris, 3-time Pro Bowler. And, you know, it's interesting. We mentioned Ernie Sims. We mentioned Tommy Harris. The Colts went out late and got some veterans to fill in some gaps defensively.
Well, veteran move by Tommy Harris there. He saw the screen, grabbed the guy, grabbed the blocker, got in there. You're right. Jamal Anderson, Tommy Harrison, and Tyler Brayton, 3 defensive linemen, all need to play well in these last 2 games to find a spot on this team.
This is now a 3rd and 8 for the Packers. Rodgers steps. Oh, what a gun. Donald Driver, the catch into Indianapolis territory and a first down. That's a 20-yard hookup.
Well, you just never see this when you come here to Indianapolis. The quarterback looks down the field. He has time to move and find a second receiver. Donald Driver coming inside after the clear out by Jermichael Finley down the middle.
Colts continue to rotate defensive linemen. Tyler Brayton is now in. Tommy Harris is headed to the sideline. And Dwight Freeney as well, who set it down for the Packers.
They're trying to bring in run stoppers on first down and bring in Freeney and Mathis when they think it's pass.
No, it's going to be pass for Rodgers. Right over the middle for James Starks. He gets banged around inside the 45. Ernie Sims among those there for Indianapolis. It's a 3-yard pickup through the air.
Now this Colts defense, it's been, what's the word for it? Awful? Yeah, that's the word.
That's the one you were going for.
I think they're upset. They want to get back, like you heard Sam Ryan say it before the game. Simplify it. Let's be fast. We need big hits. That's how they were built, and they need that to win.
Again from the gun. Rodgers, it's a first down throw as he hits Jermichael Finley. That's the other part of the equation, Phil, as well. Remember, Ryan Grant only 1 game last season. Jermichael Finley limited to 5 games because of injury, a knee injury. Rodgers told us yesterday, hey, I'm just excited to have them back and what this offense can be.
He basically got 2 first-round draft picks added to his team this year, having Ryan Grant and Jermichael Finley. And teams got to pay attention. Jermichael Finley, he's not the same guy yet. Let him get a little more work, and he'll turn into that guy we saw last year.
Rodgers has hit 5 different receivers. You can make it 6. Andrew Corliss. And loses the football. Coughed it up. Justin Tryon with the recovery. Was he down is the question.
It looks like it. Contact. Contact takes him to the ground. And that's going to be no fumble.
16 yards on the pass play. Corliss.
Well, this hurry-up offense, this is almost a true no-huddle. They are going at a furious pace. Mike McCarthy, let's get as many plays in as possible. Go at a pace with the defense, cannot keep up with it.
And Rodgers has found that rhythm with 5:28 to go in this first quarter. From the gun. Protection, moving pocket. Toss to Starks, returns it up the field and spins his way inside the 20. Jacob Lacey and Gerard Powers combine to bring him down.
Well, I tell you, when you play at this pace, you keep completing the passes. Look at the Colts defense. Guys got their hands on their hips. They're standing up straight, every one of them. Hard to be a great pass rusher when you're tired.
This was the number 20 defense in the NFL last season. Indianapolis won the AFC South with a 10-6 record, lost to the Jets in the wild card round, 17-16. Spread it out here, shotgun on a 2nd and 8. Rodgers throwing, end zone, it's caught. Finley, touchdown. Oh, what a grab! Matched up with the linebacker Pat Angerer, and it doesn't seem fair.
Well, it's not, but they spread the field that time, nobody in the backfield, and they are a vertical team, and look at it, just right up the seam. Aaron Rodgers didn't have to think. He knew where he was going to throw the football, and what he does so well. All 3 games so far in the preseason, he has a touchdown where he just rifles the football before the defender can turn and look for it.
Jermichael Finley.
And they're waiting to confirm it upstairs.
As we know this season, all scores, all touchdowns will be looked at before we continue to the extra point.
You know what I like about it, don't you?
Why is that?
Well, we get to talk more. Come on, that's what we do.
You get paid by word, or how does your contract work?
They don't have enough money for the words.
Mason Crosby on for the extra point. 81-yard drive, 76 of which came through the air. Rodgers mixing it up, spreading it around. It's Finley. Aaron Rodgers, like a surgeon out there against this Indianapolis defense. 10 plays, 81 yards, culminates in the 18-yard touchdown pass to Jermichael Finley, and Rodgers goes 7 of 8 on the drive for 76 yards.
Let's remember this game. We haven't talked about it yet. Mike McCarthy, they're playing the game. They're worried about their opener. The Colts, they game plan. They were taking this seriously.
Mason Crosby kicking off. Joe LaFedge is deep, and he'll take it out of the end zone. LaFedge looks for some room, breaks one tackle, and then brought down out across the 20-yard line. Right now, let's check in, Phil, with the eye control.
All right, here we go, Ian. We're going to go with it here. The Green Bay Packers, 5 wide receivers. Look what it does, how wide it makes the safeties. Aaron Rodgers knows Jermichael Finley right down the middle. Look at the space. That is about as easy a throw and catch as you're going to get for the Green Bay Packers this year.
That was you on the remote control, by the way.
It was. I was a little shaky.
It was a little shuttling back and forth.
Yeah, it was a little faster than I thought.
I thought it was good.
And my fat finger just can't draw the circles yet.
All right, we're going to have to work on that regular season. That's why we do the preseason.
You can help my fat finger?
No, I got nothing for that. Donald Brown now in the backfield. Painter flushed out of the pocket and will throw it away. The pressure came from Clay Matthews, and Charles Woodson also applying the pressure. 2 weapons for Dom Capers, the defensive coordinator. Take your fantasy football season to the next level with new and improved mobile apps, roster management tools, and much more. Visit cbssports.com/fantasyfootball to get started. Now Curtis Painter is trying to get started here.
Yeah, he's trying. He's just got to focus in on the defense, not overthink. Dallas Clark was running down the field the last play. He had a chance. You just got to make a quick decision, trust it, and let it go.
He's 1 of 4 for 7 yards. A handoff for Donald Brown. And not much running room there for the 3rd-year running back out of UConn, Eric Walden, making the play defensively.
And here's what happens when you're watching a game like this, Ian, is that Dom Capers, I said, what's your game plan? He goes, I'm just going to kind of see how they play the quarterback. In other words, he's going to play the situations, look at Curtis Painter, see how he's handling everything, and I would say right now he's probably over there going, let's go ahead and blitz it. You know, they don't have any answers yet for the blitz, and I would expect Woodson to come on a blitz again here.
This is a 3rd and 7 for Indianapolis.
Yeah, here they come, all of them.
Painter gets rid of it, out route, and Pierre Garçon unable to haul it in. Tremont Williams had the coverage for Green Bay, and another 3 and out for the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, you know, you need help. Couple drop passes. Curtis Painter needs somebody to help him get this thing going. That was a good throw to the outside. Garçon should have caught it. but it was a blitz again, 3 blitzers to his right. Had enough time to make the throw. It was on target.
Pat McAfee will punt it, and Chasten West is the deep man for Green Bay. Randall Cobb, talented rookie out of Kentucky, is not available because of the knee injuries he suffered last week against Arizona. Here's West, eluding 1 tackle. And upended as he crossed the 30-yard line by Pat Angerer. 54-yard punt. Rodgers back on the field when we return. Quarterback huddle there for Indianapolis. 4 of them in uniform. There's no comparison right now. It's all Aaron Rodgers. 9 of 10 for the Packers. Green Bay with the football at its own 31-yard line, leading 7-0 over Indianapolis. Ryan Grant, the single setback, 3 wide receiver set. And this is Grant, little stutter step move, and he spins his way out across the 35. Fili Moala there for the stop, a 6-yard gain.
Well, if you let Aaron Rodgers move in the pocket, move forward to throw it, it's going to be a long night for your defense. And look at the extra time. Usually quarterbacks come into this building, they look at the first receiver, and they have to get rid of it right after that. Aaron Rodgers has had some extra time, and he's made easy completions down the field when he gets it.
Leg, Rodgers. And Rodgers, a bullet towards the sideline. It's broken up. Jermichael Finley, the intended receiver, and Jamal Anderson, the former Atlanta Falcon there, making sure that Rodgers didn't have the room to work.
Well, they like Jamal Anderson. They think he has a chance. He's a little bit of all-in-one. In other words, he's big enough to stop the run, and he's good enough to put some outside pressure on the passer when given the opportunity. The Colts played a run defense that time. Good recovery after the fake. Nobody was open down the field.
Rodgers had completed his last 6 passes. Now facing a 3rd and 4. Starks is checked into the game. Play clock winding down. Rodgers throwing on time for Jordy Nelson. And a fresh set of downs for Green Bay out near midfield. Jacob Lacey and David Caldwell got the start at safety for the injured Antoine Bethea.
Well, what happened that time is the Indianapolis Colts came up and were faking like they were going to blitz, but Aaron Rodgers knew it wasn't because nobody was over the receivers inside playing them man-to-man, so they weren't worried about it. That's why they split out Jermichael Finley. Nobody underneath the outside coverage, and he makes an easy throw to the sideline for the first down.
Rodgers now in his 7th year in the league. He spent 3 years on the bench watching Brett Favre give Ryan Grant, and some encouraging signs here. Grant getting ahead of steam. And they've been looking for Grant to kind of get back to his old ways coming off the injury. 5-yard gain. Emmy winner Michael Emerson and Jim Caviezel star in the most anticipated new drama of the season, Person of Interest. It premieres Thursday, September 22nd, only CBS. Ryan Grant, back-to-back seasons of over 1,200 yards rushing in 2008 and 2009. 2nd and 5 from the gun. The protection is there. Rodgers throwing. It looks effortless. Jordy Nelson there for the grab once again out on the perimeter. And Green Bay is moving the football with ease.
Looks like he's having fun, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Of course, we'd have fun too if we were that good. You know, see, that's what I always love. Oh, he has fun when he plays. No kidding, he's the best on the field. Yeah, I love that. Yes, everybody else is out there dying trying to make a play and to stay in the action, but awesome on the run, Aaron Rodgers is.
And Rodgers, driver left his feet. Throw might have been a little bit offline. Maybe the timing was off. And the veteran Donald Driver, who is going to become the all-time leading receiver in Packers history, probably in the first game. He's just behind James Lofton, 42 yards behind. He's already the all-time leader in receptions.
Well, they think maybe they have their replacement. This past year, they drafted Randall Cobb, wide receiver from Kentucky, in the 2nd round. They think he can be an excellent slot receiver and, of course, a return man, too. Not in there tonight.
2nd and 10. Rodgers, a pump, and he's brought down. Pat Angerer able to hold his water and bring down Aaron Rodgers and limit Rodgers using his legs.
You know, when I was talking to Larry Courier, defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, he's just trying to stress to his team that I know it's preseason, but you just can't turn this thing on. We got to do it in practice, and we got to do it in the game, too. It's just not going to magically happen week 1 down there in Houston.
That'll go down as a sack for Engler, now in his second year out of Iowa. Movement on 3rd and 10. There's a long count from Rodgers. Brian Balag on that right side. And it looks like it was Balaga, number 75.
Well, what you try to do in this building, use the snap count because crowd noise. It's pretty quiet in here right now, but 3rd and long, it is a nightmare. It's an anxiety time for a quarterback here in the regular season. But I don't know. You know, so far this defense, it looks like nothing I've seen in the past against the opposing quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers has plenty of time to do what he's trying to do.
This is now a 3rd and 15 for Rodgers. Rush coming. Rodgers slides down short of a first down. He'll officially be marked down at the 35 as Dwight Freeney supplied that pressure, looping around to put some heat on Rodgers. It's 4th and 8.
I think you said it right. Dwight Freeney, everybody's worried about how fast he is getting around to the outside. He does these spin moves. But when he just decides to run over you, it catches you by surprise. And Chad Clifton did a good job of hanging in there, but the quarterback's got to get rid of it pretty quick.
Now they're facing a 4th and 8 or a 53-yard field goal attempt. That'll be the final play of this first quarter. End of 1. 7-0, the Packers leading the Colts. You're watching the NFL on CBS. That's all right for the Green Bay Packers so far. 128 total yards. Indianapolis with 33. Mike McCarthy's offense has been sharp, and they're going to go for it here. First play of the second quarter on a 4th and 8. Robert Mathis, a hamstring injury for Indianapolis. His return is unlikely. And a 4-receiver set here for Green Bay. Shotgun. Rodgers guns it. It's complete and a first down to Donald Driver. Aaron Rodgers so comfortable, and that was a BB with Gerard Powers there defensively.
Well, here's what happens. They run down the field so many times. Watch Donald Driver. He hooks up here because the Colts are playing what everybody calls Tampa 2. The middle linebacker gets so deep, there's a void in the middle. They thought they'd play that defense. They had the perfect pass play call.
Just inside the 25, first down. Rodgers to throw again. Jermichael Finley loses the football at the end of the play. It was already whistled down, and Finley out near first down yardage for Green Bay.
Boy, Jermichael Finley looks like a different guy tonight. A little more confident looking. He's caught enough passes in practice. Yep, ground cannot cause a fumble when you go to the ground by contact.
Finley, big play threat, excellent hands. He's got Pro Bowl ability, and he probably was headed to one last year before the injury week 5. On first down, at the 13-yard line.
Boy, for a team that didn't game plan and practice all week in pads and was tired, he looked pretty fresh.
Rodgers pumped in, he throws, it's Finley again, and Finley angles out of bounds. Chased down by David Caldwell, the safety.
What did Aaron Rodgers say to us last year at the start of the season? Jermichael Finley got double-teamed all the time. Then everybody, Jennings, the other wide receiver, was double-teamed. He goes, I knew that. They cover them, I could run, I could throw to the other guys. He goes, that's what he's hoping it gets back to. And of course, we said it already, Ryan Grant, he's a big name, good player. You got to pay attention to him too out of the backfield.
Rodgers is 14 of 17, 131 yards. Handoff, it is Grant trying to power his way up the middle, and the Colts limit him to a 2-yard gain.
Sometimes I think the Green Bay Packers, they decide to have a running play just so Aaron Rodgers would go, okay, let me get my breath before we throw it again, because their passing game it's to watch it, it's phenomenal. They're aggressive throwing it down the field.
Rodgers went to the Pro Bowl each of the last 2 years.
And it's an offense built for this quarterback.
On third down, Rodgers is sacked from behind. Dwight Freeney.
Well, at that time, Dwight Freeney got some help from the coverage. He gets a second chance. It's another bull rush. Oh, my gosh. That is too tough. You need to line a tight end on his side, chip him every once in a while, but Chad Clifton's been doing an excellent job, but situation was too tough that time.
Freeney, 6-time Pro Bowler and the franchise record for career sacks in Colts history. 26-yard field goal attempt for Mason Crosby. Chip shot, and the Packers add to their lead. 10-0, 12:41 to play. First half, we're coming back to Indy in a moment. Packer 10, Indianapolis nothing. Ian Eagle, Phil Simms, Sam Ryan, rest of our CBS Sports crew. 14 plays, 61-yard drive. The last 12 minutes, the total plays have been 22-3 in favor of Green Bay. Mason Crosby kicking off, and Joe LaFedge is deep. Here's LaFedge for Indianapolis, and a collision as he hit the 20-yard line. 24-yard return. Jeff Saturday, one of the leaders of this Indianapolis squad and a big part of the NFL Players Association. July 25th, end of the lockout. Bob Kraft, owner of the Patriots, Jeff Saturday share a hug. The players and owners came to an agreement. There was a little bit more to it than just that, though.
Well, yes, and you know, Jeff Saturday was telling us that they wondered why Bob Kraft was there with his wife being ill and knowing that she was in trouble. And Myra Kraft said to Bob, "It's too important to America. I'll be okay. You have to go down and get this done." So it says a lot about her, and it was a tremendous moment for Bob Kraft. Jeff Saturday.
On a handoff for Donald Brown, not much there. No gain on the play. Myra passed away on July the 20th, and the NFL, the outpouring of emotion from players and owners and everybody involved in the league. And certainly our condolences go out to the Kraft family. 2nd and 10 here for Indianapolis. Still waiting to see this Colts offense get going. We know Peyton Manning means so much. Might mean more as one player than any other player in the league to what his team can do. But they're trying to give Curtis Payton a chance here, and finally a connection to Reggie Wayne. First down for Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's a nice throw to Reggie Wayne, but I think more importantly, they got to pay attention to Charles Woodson in between, right on the back shoulder to Reggie Wayne. It was a nice throw by Curtis Painter. Tough catch, but again, Woodson on the blitz, not picked up. Curtis Painter was about a half second slower. It'd have been a fumble.
So first down for the Colts. First reception by an Indianapolis wide receiver tonight. Fake the handoff. Painter steps. Rifles. Broken up. He was trying to hit Garcon, and Morgan Burnett, talented second-year safety out of Georgia Tech. Only 4 games last year because of a knee injury.
Blitz again. They're going to keep sending Charles Woodson until they pick him up. That time they did, but Burnett got there before the football did. That was definitely pass interference. But a good job by Curtis Painter stepping up in the pocket, getting that extra time, and making a good throw to the outside. So at least they got the first down. He's getting some throws that should give him some confidence and get him into the flow of the game.
On a handoff, Donald Brown. And Brown will pick up 3 yards up the gut. Nick Collins, the Pro Bowl safety, making the play defensively.
You know, when I talked to Dom Capers last night, I said, wow, this defense, it's almost funny. It just resembles the defenses you coached in Pittsburgh. And he laughed. He just goes, it's the same parts. Yep. It's the same guys. And he goes, I have some of those Pittsburgh guys coaching with me here, teaching these young guys like Clay Matthews and, of course, Woodson, such a vital part to what they do.
Now a 3rd and 7 for the Colts. Packers crowd the line. Here they come. Painter gets rid of it. And complete to Reggie Wayne. He's got a first down and a penalty marker thrown back at the 28-yard line. Desmond Bishop hit Curtis Painter up around the head area.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, contact with the quarterback's head. Number 55, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So it is Bishop, 6th-round pick back in 2007, getting called for the penalty.
Look at the blitzers. Yes, hits him on. And the word where it's going to be roughing the passer when it's you hit him in the helmet with force. And that time, that was a good call. I would consider that force.
First time tonight that the Indianapolis offense has taken it into Green Bay territory, and we've got 10, 20 and counting left in this first half. Curtis Painter. Got all the practice reps this week. They game plan for him. Here's Painter, all play action. Gets rid of it and makes the connection to Reggie Wayne once again. So Painter finding a little bit of a comfort zone here in the second quarter. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. We'll have an update on the Barclays and the first leg of the PGA FedEx Cup playoffs. Update coming up from there. Plus, Phil Simms sat down with Aaron Rodgers. It's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Donald Brown remains in there. And Dallas Clark shifting over to that H-back position. A little juke move by Brown, and he spins his way out near the 20 for a 3-yard pickup.
You know, a couple of things. One, the Green Bay defense, you know, they need more repetitions in this preseason. So they were excited about this first half, and they were going to kind of just, like I said earlier, see what this Colts offense is doing and react to it. But they're getting some blitzing done, so you learn to time it with the quarterback snap count and make sure you space everybody out properly so the blitzers have lanes to run into.
Painter's now 4 of 9, 43 yards. This is a 2nd and 7 for Indianapolis. Painter, he's got protection and trying to thread the needle. Risky throw. Sam Shields was over there defensively. Reggie Wayne, the intended target.
Well, lack of experience, that's all you could say in this throw here by Curtis Painter. His original receiver is Reggie Wayne, and he never comes off with it. Top of your screen, look at all the defenders there. They're underneath coverage. He has to hold it, and he keeps looking. The play before, he looked to his right, came off the receiver, turned to his left, and made a good throw. When the first guy is covered, you got to be ready to go that second one right away.
Now a 3rd and 7. Green Bay with a 10-0 lead. Play clock down to 1. Tosses it up and incomplete. Chris Brooks with Charles Woodson coming.
Charles Woodson, boy, you talk about getting him ready for the season. He is having a night here. And it's a different blitz every time. They give you so many looks up front. It's confusing for an offense that hasn't practiced together a lot and with a quarterback that hasn't been with that unit. That time he delayed his blitz, came underneath the tackle, free run right to the quarterback.
4-time Super Bowl champion Adam Vinatieri on for the field goal, and he missed it. He pushed it off to the left, and the Colts come up empty. Packers maintain the 10-0 lead. Second quarter action continues. Back at Lucas Oil Stadium, opened up in 2008. Really one of the top stadiums in the NFL. Has that retro look on the outside. They opened up the roof. Comfortable night here in Indianapolis. And as expected, they pack them in. They love their Colts. They just have not loved what they've seen in the preseason so far. Packers lead 10-0. Rodgers on a handoff for Ryan Grant, and he gets bunched up. Now this Green Bay team coming off the Super Bowl title. Packers jumped out to a quick lead. Rodgers to Nelson, then Nick Collins on the interception return. Third quarter, 4-point lead. Clay Matthews forces a Mendenhall fumble. Pittsburgh one last chance. Mike Wallace couldn't hang on, and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers win their 4th Super Bowl title in franchise history. Shotgun for Rodgers. Oh, a hot throw, and Donald Driver could not hold on to it.
You know, I remember sitting in my house in 2010 and watching the Green Bay Packers family night scrimmage. Of course, the stadium was packed. You know, it's just a scrimmage between themselves. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers the whole night got underneath center. I think they were trying to tell us we're going to build this team around Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and they sure have. And boy, the confidence and the presence that Rodgers has at 27 years old in the prime of his career. Slipped to 24 in the draft back in 2005. And Rodgers gets knocked around. Freeney was first, and then the powerful rookie out of LSU, Drake Nevis, who could turn out to be a third-round steal for Indianapolis.
You're right. Dwight Freeney, third and long. Quarterback's going to have to hold it. And what a move by him. He threw the counterpunch. He's overpowered Chad Clifton a couple times. So what did he do there? He did the spin move to the inside. Chad Clifton was not ready for it.
David Gilreath, the return man. Tim Mastay will punt it. High punt. Out toward the sideline, and you can't do it much better than that. Gilreath just didn't have any room to work with. 48-yard punt. Colts offense back on the field when we return. Curtis Painter so far tonight.
Well, it's been a real mixed bag. He's made some good throws. I thought he had a couple of drops that's really hurting. But the biggest thing, Charles Woodson coming on the blitz, is they've had trouble dealing with the Green Bay looks, the different looks, and the blitzes, and I guess the final verdict, it's just not been smooth. And a lot of times you just got to say he's got to find a way to get him in rhythm.
In the absence of Peyton Manning, Indianapolis is now working on a 7th straight quarter without a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 31 for the Colts, trailing 10-0 here, 7:37 to go first half. Adai back in there and able to turn the corner. Joseph Adai. Blocks on that right side, Jeff Linkenbach in his second year out of Cincinnati. New this fall on CBS. Patrick Wilson stars in A Gifted Man. It premieres Friday, September 23rd, only CBS. 2nd and 1 here for Indianapolis. Keep it on the ground. And a dive falling forward should be enough for a first down. Desmond Bishop involved in that stop, getting down low for Green Bay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close if they got the first down. The Packers played run all the way. They had a blitz run called, and they hit the line of scrimmage. Just tough. Well, they gave it to him. But if you're the quarterback, if I'm Curtis Painter, I'm coming up the line of scrimmage going, okay, where are they going to blitz me from this time?
And you look at the numbers from last year, Phil, this is a defense that had 47 sacks, 2nd in the NFL behind Pittsburgh, 24 interceptions, 2nd in the NFL.
You get greatness when you have talent and a unique scheme, and that's what they have.
Painter trying to hit Garcon and low throw.
It's like when Buddy Ryan was with the Chicago Bears, and he had a unique scheme that the league wasn't ready for, and they did have tremendous players, and boy, you couldn't deal with them if they played plain. But when you mix it up like that, it's just hard to deal with. And the Packers, not quite the Chicago Bears of 1985, but they got a lot of playmakers on this defense.
2nd and 10. Back to a running play, and a die is wrestled down. Vic So'oto, rookie out of BYU. It's a 1-yard gain. One of the players that you're alluding to defensively for Green Bay, B.J. Raji, just last year, playoffs, you saw him develop. When you get a nickname, you know you're taking it to the next level. Nicknamed the Freezer.
Well, yeah, a lot of times, not always means you're getting there. There's been some guys in this league who got nicknames who didn't make a play. But there's Deem coming out of the game.
Ryan Deem walking off to the Colts sideline, starting at right guard here tonight. So Mike Pollock, who was the starter at right guard, will step in, his 4th year out of Arizona State.
But to go back to B.J. Raji, I'm looking for the Packers to try a few different things with him this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see him be outside a little more and being a pass rusher. Always be alert. Talent, guys like him, big man, little feet. They could just do it all.
He led all nose tackles with 6.5 sacks last season, started getting those Warren Sapp comparisons for what he could do up the middle and the havoc that he can wreak. Painter wide open. Reggie Wayne is going to go in untouched. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And a penalty marker back at the 36-yard line. That's a 57-yard bomb from Painter.
Number 94. Defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Reggie Wayne, top of your screen. It's a zone defense, and everybody breaks up to the inside receiver thinking Curtis Painter is going to throw it to him. That is an awesome job by Painter, not throwing it to the inside receiver, holding on to it, and finding Reggie Wayne uncovered down the field.
Prior to that throw, Painter had 43 yards through the air. That one goes for 57 to Reggie Wayne.
And he threw it on a line. He saw him wide open, and he truly just let it go.
Adam Vinatieri knocks through the extra point, and it's 10-7 Green Bay. Boy, did Painter ever need this. The Colts offense needed it as well. Indianapolis is on the board. Packers 10, Colts 7 with 5:33 remaining in this first half. The long pass, Painter to Wayne. 5 plays, 69 yards, and the touchdown goes 57 yards in the air. Indy will kick it off with Pat McAfee, and Alex Green is deep for the Packers. Green is the rookie out of Hawaii, 3rd-round pick. Getting an opportunity with the injury to Randall Cobb. On a bounce, and that one will go through the back of the end zone. Let's check in with our eye control, Phil.
Well, let's see if we can do it here. Reggie Wayne's just going to go outside. The inside receiver is Brooks. Watch Sam Shields. He comes off, looks at it, but the mistake is made in the back by Burnett, who comes up. He should be deep looking down the sideline. When he comes up, nice job by Curtis Painter seeing the wide open receiver, Reggie Wayne.
That was excellent drawing. The first part was outstanding.
I just forgot to push play.
You got to hit play. Green Bay up 10-7 over Indianapolis.
I'm 2 for 5 for 12 yards and an interception.
Rodgers on a low throw. Starks turns it upfield and explodes for a first down out across the 30-yard line. Boy, how impressive was Starks in the postseason last year when they needed somebody to step forward in that running attack, and it was Starks. The size and speed. He was a rookie out of Buffalo, a 6th-round pick, and he really gave them some credibility coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, he did, and the thing is, once he got comfortable, he got better every week.
Rodgers on a quick throw for Jordy Nelson, and Nelson slipping through along the sideline. A lapse defensively for Indianapolis. Jacob Lacey, David Caldwell back there. It's a 34-yard catch and run.
So many times when they have receivers to the outside, they have these short routes, and Aaron Rodgers always has the option when they're the only receiver to one side. If the defense is going to give it to him, he's going to throw that 6 or 7 yard hitch route. That time, and Jordy Nelson breaks the tackle, gets big yards.
There's Rodgers on the flip for Starks. And Starks the acceleration. Another Green Bay first down. They are chewing up yardage against this Indianapolis defense as Caldwell whiffed again. Coming up, Sprint halftime report update on the Barclays. Plus, Phil Simms' his sit down with Aaron Rodgers. It's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
And the Packers went to the sideline and said, oh, okay, you want to rush our quarterback? Well, let's throw a few screens and slow that down. That's what it did.
Rodgers looking out of the pocket. Wide open end zone. Touchdown. It's Chaston West. And a flag down. A strike from Aaron Rodgers.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty.
And it's coming back. Chad Clifton called on the hold.
Well, tough call against the offensive line. It was a quick 3-step drop. It's not there. And Chad Clifton let the defender get inside him and had to reach out and grab him.
So back it up now to the 30-yard line. Clifton went to the Pro Bowl last year for the 2nd time in his career. Reputation as one of the top pass blockers in the NFL. This is a 1st and 20 now for Green Bay. Operating out of the gun. Rodgers gets rid of it quickly. Little curl. Donald Driver. And Driver is thrown down as he hit the 25-yard line. Gerard Powers making the play for Indy.
Well, the speed of the Indy defense, I don't think when you watch it, as I watch it here tonight, I just don't go, wow, they're the fastest defense I've seen. When I've come here in years past, I look out there and go, wow, it's amazing how you get anything done. They're so fast, but so much is just predicated on their pass rush. The defense goes well when they get situations, and you get Dwight Freeney one-on-one with the left tackle.
Packers now facing a 2nd and 14. Fake the handoff to Starks. Now a dump off for Starks. And he keeps turning it into positive gains off the catch and run. James Starks picks up 7.
Really clever play that time by the Packers. Fake draw, then they throw a screen off of it, just looking for every way they can to get some yards on it. Chad Clifton, the left tackle, has got to be saying, do we have any pass protections where you can help me double team Dwight Freeney? Looks like once again he's going to be singled up against him.
3rd and 7 for the Packers. Down to 2:36 left in this first half. Rodgers steps up, and Rodgers is dumped. Tommy Harris, the former Chicago Bear, busting through. 4th Indianapolis sack tonight.
Aaron Rodgers steps up. Tommy Harris gets around his block. Sitton can't hold him out long enough and gets that sack. A lot of times you quarterbacks step up so fast, hard for offensive linemen to stay in front of their guy inside, and you get that sack because of Dwight Freeney putting the pressure from the outside.
So Mason Crosby on for a field goal attempt on 4th down. And looks like they're going to let time elapse here to hit the 2-minute warning. So we'll step aside with the Packers trying to add to their lead. Green Bay in front, 10. Mason Crosby on for a field goal attempt, 41 yards, with the Packers leading at 10-7 over Indianapolis. The punter, Mastay, will hold it. 41 yards away, and he missed it. We saw a miss from Vinatieri, now a miss from Crosby, and the Packers have nothing to show for that drive. Mason Crosby, new contract from the Packers, 5-year, $14 million deal. Was 22 of 28 last year on field goal attempts, including a long of 56. So Indianapolis, all 3 timeouts remaining. They take over at their own 31-yard line.
Well, if you're a fan, and you and I are sitting up here, we're doing the game, of course. You look at the scoreboard, can you believe it's 10-7?
No.
It just seems like all we've focused on, all the big plays, everything has been the Packers, but after it's all said and done, Colts can take the lead here with a good drive.
Curtis Painter faked the handoff. Protection holds up. Painter with a low throw. And Garcon unable to secure it.
Yeah, a couple bad throws by Curtis Painter. Just rushing. Feet are not underneath him, so it's making him throw the football down. That's about the 3rd time I've seen him go to make a throw and just not in sync, jerking the ball down, going in the ground before it gets to the receiver.
Kerry Collins signed earlier this week, now in his 17th year in the NFL, over 40,000 career passing yards, 11th all time, 38 years old, and boy, all signs are indicating that it very well could be Collins under center when the Colts take on the Texans week 1, regular season. Donald Brown trying to drive his way off tackle, a 4-yard pickup with Brad Jones making the play defensively. For Collins, a lot of connections here, including Bill Polian.
Sure.
Back to their Carolina days.
Jim Caldwell was his quarterback coach at Penn State for a couple years, and you know, I think Curtis Painter needed to come out here tonight and really have a great night to have a chance to be the starter opening day. But Kerry Collins, through all the teams he's played with, had a lot of success, of course, with the Carolina Panthers, with the New York Giants, with the Tennessee Titans. I was on the field before the game, and I was watching him warm up. And
he can throw it.
Yeah, if I didn't see his gray beard, I'd say, boy, this young guy can really throw it. But he's in great shape. He feels good. And he attributes a lot of it to the fact that he didn't have to go to off-season OTAs and mini camps. He says, I feel so much better. Of course, he feels better mentally, too, refreshed, not doing that all off-season.
Painter throwing underneath. Chris Brooks has got the first down. He was able to get the angle he needed and the necessary yardage. So they'll move the chains here with 1:38 to play in this second quarter.
Well, even though there's backup defenders in here for the Green Bay Packers at some of the positions, they're still going to blitz and put the pressure on their corners, safeties to cover the receivers down the field. That time Burnett just too far off the receiver, not able to get up there before the throw gets out there.
Ryan Deem has been back on the field. We saw him leave on the previous possession for Indianapolis. So Deem back in at right guard. Brown in the backfield on a 1st and 10 for the Colts. Shotgun, Painter. Good throw over the middle, and he's got Reggie Wayne. Sam Shields drawing the coverage for Green Bay. That's a 7-yard pickup through the air. Shields is going to be the nickel on this Green Bay squad. There's a battle at the other defensive back positions trying to make the roster, and nothing there for Donald Brown. Eric Walden bringing down the young running back. Now we get a timeout with 1:19 left to play in this first half. Coming up tomorrow night, the NFL on CBS. Preseason primetime special. The Patriots take on the Detroit Lions in Motown. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, Leslie Visser will have it for you tomorrow night. The NFL on CBS.
I just want to go back to Kerry Collins just for a bit here. Ian, as we were talking about him, I said to him on the field, he retired or was thinking that was it, but he just said, this is too, the opportunity here is just too unique. He couldn't pass it up, and I think that's what made him come out of retirement.
How about the time, though, that he has? Very tight schedule to try to possibly get ready for a regular season opener under center for the Colts. 3rd and 4. Painter. And a good throw to Reggie Wayne for a first down.
That's the #1 play the Indianapolis Colts run. The inside receiver clears out. The outside receiver comes right underneath it at about 5 to 6 yards. Peyton Manning is terrific at it. Curtis Painter hit it that time.
Painter, deep ball. It's caught by Garcon. Garcon ruled down inside the 10. 36 yards through the air. And Painter's got a little something going now.
Yeah, he really does. Good job of looking it off inside. And then when he turns outside, he sees Garcon against Nick Collins. That's a matchup a quarterback loves, and another terrific throw by Curtis Painter.
That is the 6th time that he has thrown to Garcon, and the first reception. Is it a clean catch? Boy, it looked like he was able to cradle it and secure it. Looks like that's going to stand at the 7-yard line.
Yes, the ball never does hit the ground. Boy, the one thing you do see, Curtis Painter does have a strong arm. And
you saw him at Purdue. You saw him as he tried to make his transition to the NFL. Where has he changed the most?
In what he does as a player, where there's no doubt his footwork is so much quicker and better. And he holds the ball higher, able to get it out of his hand faster than he did at Purdue. And look, who's he learned from? Peyton Manning. Watched him every day in practice, so he tries to emulate what Peyton Manning does, and why not?
1st and goal. Painter, a dart, and it's broken up. Tried to squeeze it in to Garcon, and Jared Bush back there for the Packers.
Kind of the same play we saw earlier. The inside receivers are going to go up, clear it out. From the outside comes Garcon underneath. But a good job by Bush just reading Curtis Painter's eyes and getting in the throwing lane.
2nd and goal now. 33 seconds left in this first half. Colts trying to take the lead. A die in there for Indianapolis. Painter throwing up top. Brooks has got it. Touchdown, Colts. Painter put it exactly where it had to be, and a smile from Peyton Manning as the Colts jump out in front late stages second quarter.
Just an excellent job again. Good protection by the Colts offensive line. And Curtis Painter's not looking for the receiver underneath this time. He goes over the top. And Bush in the slot. Watch him go up the field. And a good throw to the back corner by Curtis Painter.
Chris Brooks, first-year wide receiver out of Nebraska.
Well, what a comeback by Curtis Painter.
And what a confidence boost as well. We talked to Painter the other day about getting a chance. He said, look, I'm getting a chance to run the offense, not just learn the offense. That's been the biggest factor in my confidence going up as Vinatieri converts on the extra point.
You know, there's no doubt about it. I said, and I've said it publicly even before this game, that people complained about him, especially the year he came in here. They had the perfect season against the New York Jets, and it fell apart. Well, what do you expect him to do? He never gets to run this, like you said, the starting offensive plays. Never had a game plan to work with, and it's tough in those situations. But this training camp, they've all talked about how good he's looked, and this week they got to practice. They put in a game plan, and you said it earlier. Bill Polian, everybody we talked to, said he was extremely sharp in practice, and we've seen signs of it at times here in this game in the first half.
And we asked Jim Caldwell about him. He said, look, Painter's a hard-working guy. He puts his heart into it every day, but the circumstances have dictated that we needed a little more experience at that position. So while it's not a vote of confidence for Curtis Painter that Kerry Collins is in, the fact that Painter has come out here against the Green Bay Packers in the second quarter and has found a rhythm, 2 touchdowns over the last 5 minutes and 7 seconds for Indy. That's a good sign. McAfee kicks off. Alex Green is deep, and Green's going to take it out. And Green is going to take it to the 20-yard line with a flag thrown back at the 9. 21 seconds left in this first half.
Well, Ian, to answer your question about Curtis Painter.
Foul for offensive holding on the play. The block was legal. First down.
Just worry about yourself and get it done. But here we go. Here's Brooks, going to go to the back of the end zone. Bush is covered him a safety. The outside receiver's coming underneath. They love to throw this play. And Curtis Painter sees it's man coverage, and right away he knows he's going to the Brooks to the back corner and puts it back shoulder. Great throw. And of course, what a confidence boost for Curtis Painter.
I got to tell you, I believe you found your rhythm tonight on the eye control. That's by far your best eye control of the night. Very strong. First down, Ryan Grant runs it up the middle, and that will do it for this first half. A 2-yard gain. Jacob Lacey making the play defensively. Peyton Manning, some words of wisdom for Curtis Painter as they head to the locker room.
I felt the sarcasm.
No, it was good.
Okay. Good first half, I think, there at the end for the Indianapolis Colts, and of course, especially for Curtis Painter.
14-10, the Colts in front of the Packers. We'll come back. The Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. It's great to have the NFL back with Indianapolis in front of Green Bay, 14-10 as we get ready for second half action. Scoring summary in that first half, Bill. Aaron Rodgers very sharp early, getting Jermichael Finley involved, and then Painter able to catch some fire for Indy.
After Painter threw this pass to Reggie Wayne for a touchdown, his confidence level, of course, went up, and he played much better after that touchdown.
Another touchdown as he was able to hit Brooks for the score. And Indianapolis not accustomed to actually being in front here in the preseason. Pat McAfee will kick it off, and Kerry Taylor will be the deep man for Green Bay. He's a rookie out of Arizona State. Indianapolis will be gunning for its 10th consecutive playoff berth this season, a league record. Out of the end zone, touchback. Big leg from McAfee. And the halftime numbers, it was all Green Bay, and then Indianapolis played catch-up in that second quarter. Second quarter yards, 180 yards. And backup quarterback Matt Flynn checks in for the Packers now in his 4th year out of LSU. So that's it for Aaron Rodgers and his mustache here tonight. We asked him about it. He said it's like the Vince Vaughn look in Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Alex Green getting the call.
You know, every time you talk to Aaron Rodgers, you're around him, you feel like he's messing with you.
Yeah.
Don't you? You know, he's got
that. He's got that air.
Can we talk to you in a second? Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna concentrate on the guys during the game. And he was pretty proud of that mustache. Kind of reminds me of Joe Namath.
Yeah.
With the Jets.
Yeah, a little bit.
I just saw Aaron Rodgers last week when he walked in the meeting room. I went, "Did you have that mustache?"
He said it was a full-grown beard.
Oh boy.
2nd and 10. Take the handoff. And Flynn able to make the connection over the middle to DeAndre Burrell as we head downstairs and check in with Sam Ryan.
Very popular guy, Peyton Manning, Ian and Phil, and Peyton, you're coming back from the neck surgery. Where are you right now as far as your rehab is going?
Well, I'm right in the middle of it, working very hard every single day. My trainers and my weight coaches have done a great job helping me up. I'm really putting them to work. Aaron Burrell, John Tureen, our strength coach. If you zoom in on them, you'll see some gray hairs on Aaron, and if John would take his hat off, he's got a nice bald spot right in the middle. That's because of me, all the work I'm making them do extra, but I appreciate the work. I'm very grateful. I have some work left to do. I still have some time. I'm going to use that time, and at the appropriate time, I think I'll know what the right decision is, and with the help of Coach Caldwell and our doctors, we'll make that decision, and we'll go from there.
You talk about the decision you're spending. The whole first half we saw you talking to Kerry Collins. There's plenty of speculation out there. Do you think you will be ready to start opening game?
Well, I sure hope so, Sam. I've never missed a game in my entire football career due to an injury since I was 13 years old, and I sure don't want to start week 1 of this season. But that's my goal, is to be out there to play, and not just to play, but to play competitively. I want to be out there to help my team win, and if I'm able to do so, I'll be out there. And so I'm going to use this valuable time these next few weeks and see what happens when the time is right.
When you talk about great competitors, we know you're close with Tennessee head coach Pat Summitt, and I know you've spoken with her since the diagnosis of her early onset dementia. What can you tell us about her strength and her fight?
Well, I talked to Coach today, actually, and she was in great spirits, and I've been praying for her every day. I know a lot of people are praying for her. She may be one of the toughest people I know, and I appreciate her courage. I admire her for that, and everybody's pulling for her. We all love her. We're pulling hard for her, and Pat Summitt truly is the best.
Thank you, Peyton.
Okay, Sam, thanks.
All right, Sam, thank you very much, and Peyton Manning, as the Packers will be forced to punt it here on 4th down. Phil, your reaction to Peyton's words?
Well, a couple things. I thought it was pretty upbeat. Then you look at it, and it kind of gives you the thought and gives you confidence that, wow, the body language told me he's feeling a little frisky, or maybe a little confident he has a chance to be ready for that opening game down in Houston.
Well, that's what the focus is right now, simply for Manning to get to the point where he feels physically ready to go out there and line up under center against the Houston Texans. David Gilreath, the return man, and a fair catch called for. Indianapolis will have the football for the first time in this second half when we come back. Indianapolis up 14-10. We welcome you back to the broadcast booth. Iron Eagle Phil Simms, joined by our colleague Rich Gannon. Between the three of us, 60,000 career passing yards in the NFL.
It's good to be with you, partner.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Of course, it's great to always be with my guy, Phil Simms.
Good to see you, Rich.
We're going to talk some quarterbacks here because we have some interesting storylines. The Painter storyline for Indianapolis. I know Phil wants to get into the Matt Flynn and the future, projecting the future for him for Green Bay. So we'll open up with Indianapolis here, and Painter throwing on first down and able to make the connection with Jacob Tamme. What were your impressions of Painter in that first half, Rich?
Well, it's a much different offense with Curtis Painter in there, obviously. I mean, I didn't think he started well. He looked like he was struggling, missed some throws, but I thought he gained some confidence with that big throw to Reggie Wayne for the touchdown there.
Well, confidence makes you feel good. It's amazing. When you have confidence, you see better as a quarterback, your decision making, and you let it go.
driving forward. A die seeing action in this third quarter. And Painter knows what the news is. Kerry Collins comes in. Does Painter feel pressure in this game, or does he feel like, hey, at this point, I just got to let it rip?
I think he's playing for his job tonight, really. I mean, there's a reason why they brought in Kerry Collins. And certainly, that opener against Houston on the road has got to be something they're thinking about. They've not done a good job, Phil, developing the backup quarterback here in Indianapolis. It's something they've taken for granted.
Yeah, they have. You know, I always thought, why don't they just go out and get a veteran, which they did a few years. Remember Mark Rippon came in here, a guy that could step in right away and play.
Look out. And Painter hit from behind. Packers getting great penetration. Vic So'otu, the rookie from BYU, with the sack. Packers claim they've got the football, and they do. Green Bay takes over as Painter coughs it up.
Well, I think you're right. Painter looks down the field, and a quick drop by him, you have to make a decision and let it go. Your offensive linemen, they expect it, and when you hold on for that extra second, that allows that defensive line to get in there.
Phil, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think that Curtis Painter and the Colts offense have done a very good job not only recognizing pressure, but handling it.
Yeah, no question. It was a shaky first half with that, but I think you said it, developing the backup quarterback, Curtis Painter. What's his practice reps are? All right, get in there. All right, run the draw. Okay, Peyton, you're back in. I've been to many Colts practices. I've never seen Curtis Painter take one snap.
Peyton Manning's a rep hawk.
First down for Green Bay at the 20-yard line. First turnover of the game, 10-18 mark of the third quarter. Here's Flynn out of the pocket, throwing on the move, and underneath he hits Quinn Johnson. You do the Packers preseason telecast, Rich, so you've seen a lot of Flynn over the years, and preseason, this is his time.
I've seen steady improvement out of him, Ian. I think his arm's gotten stronger. I think he's moving better, and I think, Phil, it's clear he's got an understanding of what they're trying to accomplish in this offense.
There's no doubt about it. Watching him, and you said it. When you first saw him years ago,
I had some questions.
You had question marks, but now you see him, and you're kind of like going, wow, this guy's got a chance to, maybe play. Everybody's talking about him being next year's Kevin Kolb, but everybody's going to come after Matt Flynn during the offseason, the teams that want a quarterback.
Flynn on a flip, and it's incomplete. The arm strength has certainly improved from when he came into the league in 2008. The mobility is there. We saw glimpses of it last year. That loss to New England when Aaron Rodgers couldn't start. Flynn did some nice things in that game, though.
He really did. You remember now, he was the 7th-round pick. Ryan Braun was the 2nd-round pick out of Louisville. He has really come on. He's settled down, and I think the reps in the system, Phil, you know how important that is. Things are beginning to slow down for Matt Flynn.
On a 3rd and 9 now, Flynn will be an unrestricted free agent after this season. Colts leading 14-10. Shotgun Flynn throwing and complete out across the 15, but short of a first down. Chaston West.
I want to ask you a quick question since you cover the Packers, and I heard you in the first preseason game, I think, when they were playing Cleveland, and you watched the tape of the Super Bowl, and your comment was what about Aaron Rodgers?
Phil, he makes probably a half dozen throws that if they're about an inch or two off, they're either picked or tipped. If he doesn't play as well as he does in the Super Bowl, the Packers don't win.
Fourth down now, and Mason Crosby on for a field goal attempt. You see the numbers on Rodgers.
Did you get that sense watching the game, though? You didn't.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
you knew.
You could just feel it.
32-yarder is good, and Green Bay gets a little closer. Rich, thanks so much for stopping by.
Guys.
Great
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
me.
Rich Gannon will be working with Marv Albert this year on CBS, and we're coming back with more from Indy. Back here in Indianapolis, where the Colts holding on to a tight lead over the Green Bay Packers. After the turnover, Packers have to settle for the field goal. Jarius Wynn on the recovery. Mason Crosby on the kickoff. And Rutgers product Joe LaFedge, return man for Indianapolis. And LaFedge hit across the 20-yard line. That's where the Colts will open up after the 26-yard return. Third quarter action. We'll have more of it when we come back to Indy. Curtis Painter's night is done. 11 of 21, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns for Painter. And Dan Orlovsky is in, former Detroit Lion and Houston Texan, now in his 7th year in the league out of UConn.
Starting offensive line still in for Indianapolis.
So they want to see a little more work out of that group. Now, Javaris James, cousin of former Colt Edgerrin James, gets the carry for Indy as we go back down to the field and check in with Sam Ryan.
Yes, Ian, and alongside Aaron Rodgers here, your day is done at the office. You said you wanted to spread it out, and you did take a couple of hits there, and you got someone sneaking up on you if you turn around. Okay.
He's trying to get on TV.
Just Clay trying to get in there. What did you feel that you did effectively tonight on offense?
Well, I think we threw the ball.
He's back.
We threw the ball pretty efficiently. Clay trying to get on TV as usual, but I think with the no huddle, it's an up-tempo thing. We ran it more than we have all preseason tonight. I think we got a little tired, so it's good for us conditioning-wise. We got to do better when we get tired fundamentally, because I think they didn't really do a whole lot on defense. It was just one-on-ones. They were beating us for the sacks.
So Jermichael out there and Ryan Grant. You talked about them having them back. What do they add to this offense when they're healthy?
Well, Jermichael can stretch the field. The first touchdown, one-on-one, right down the middle. That's a matchup we expect to win. So it's nice having him back. Ryan had a couple carries. He's going to be a big part of our offense. So it's nice having both those guys back. We got to fix some things, and we're excited about finishing up this preseason and getting on the regular season.
You go into the regular season as the reigning Super Bowl MVP. You go back home to Chico, California, and the welcome sign has your name on it. Now, what is it like being Aaron Rodgers?
I can't complain too much. I love being able to do something I love and to get paid for it. This is a dream job. I work with my best friends every day, and just very blessed to be able to have the kind of success we've had here and do something I love.
Okay, so we saw you talking to Phil Simms about some touchdown celebrations. The fans want to know, when can they see the belt?
The celebrations, as you saw with Clay when he got a sack, we kind of saved those for the regular season. So hopefully there'll be a couple belts once the season starts, but you never know.
Okay, thanks a lot, Aaron.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Sam, thanks very much. Aaron Rodgers, very confident, very comfortable in his own skin, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say so. And of course, that's the way he plays, too. When you watch him play, he's relaxed, and of course, he has tremendous confidence in his ability. And so much. For a quarterback, it's how you think, how you react to adversity. But when you think positive, it's amazing how many times you play well.
On third down, Orlovsky, nobody home. Not on the same page as Taj Smith went one way and Orlovsky threw it the other.
Well, they got most of the starters in there, so that's not a good sign for this Colts offensive line. If you can't protect against the second group of the Green Bay Packers, that's going to be upsetting, of course, to the coaches.
So on fourth down, McAfee back out there for Indianapolis, and Kerry Taylor is standing at the Packers' 10-yard line. Taylor has got room to work with from the 7. So bust it to the outside. And Taylor with a quality run for the Packers. 24-yard return, 53-yard punt. Aaron Rodgers said he gets a chance to play with his best friends. I'm going to have to say they're close. Big crowd on hand here in Indianapolis, where the Colts lead the Packers 14-13. 6:33 to play in the third quarter, and Green Bay takes over after the punt with a 1st and 10 at its own 32-yard line. Alex Green, rookie out of Hawaii, is the running back. And able to shoot through that hole, had some more yards in front of him, and will come up just short of a first down. Play the official fantasy game of the NFL, the first and only game with in-game highlights. It's free and it's easy to play. Sign up today at NFL.com/fantasy.
Alex Green, they would love for him to get some experience, get in the lineup, and someday down the line they'd like to see him be a third down back, because catching the football, speed, and of course running the football against sub defenses when extra defensive backs are in there to take advantage of it.
Make the handoff. Flynn dials up the deep ball, one-on-one, And DeAndre Burrell, the intended receiver for the Packers. Jacob Lacey was back there defensively for Indy.
I see at left tackle, the Packers have this year's first-round draft pick, Derek Gerard, in there. They tried him a little at left guard. Did okay in there, but TJ Lang most likely is going to be the starter. But a first-rounder at right tackle from last year. Now you draft another one this year from Mississippi State. Big guy, aggressive. Just needs a little more experience because he played in college. They played a spread offense and ran the ball most of the time.
The last pick of the first round, Green was trying to lean his way forward for first down yardage. He didn't get there, and just about everybody involved defensively for Indianapolis. So after the strong throw on first down, they went for the deep ball and then come up short on third down. And the Packers forced a punt.
Well, Green Bay, like Indianapolis, trying to rebuild their offensive line, get some depth, and shift the guys around to give them experience. And the Indianapolis Colts with veteran backup defensive linemen in there. Nevis, of course, you talked about the rookie, but then you look at Jamal Anderson and Tyler Brayton. You know, these are veteran players who've done well in the league. That's pretty tough assignments for young offensive linemen.
Tim Mastad, second-year punter with David Gilreath, deep man for Indianapolis. Gilreath going to take his chances off the back pedal. And Gilreath unable to really turn that corner as Chaston West got down the field for the Packers to make the play on special teams. A 50-yard punt. We're coming back to Indianapolis after this. Season long. Colts 14, Packers 13 with 4:45 left in this third quarter. They get great crowds here in the preseason, in the regular season. This brand new stadium, which opened up in 2008, and the fans have come out in droves through the years for this consistent playoff squad. DeLon Carter, rookie out of Syracuse, fourth-round draft pick, and a player that Coach Caldwell believes can be their third down back if he develops the way that they view, is in there for Indianapolis and then loses yardage on that first down run.
Yeah, well, no matter how good of a power back you are, you're not going to get any yards the way the O-line blocked that time. But when you talk about preseason, what you do a lot of times, you're trying to identify the roles your guys are going to play. And Carter, his role to have an impact on his team, he has to be a very good short yardage running back.
Backup offensive line now on the field for Indianapolis. They lead 14-13. Orlovsky throwing to David Gilreath. He's the rookie out of Wisconsin, and he's working that sideline. Clock stops with 4:03 remaining in the third. A 7-yard pickup sets up third and short.
I thought Jim Caldwell just kind of explained everything to us pretty well the other day. You know, they have so many parts of this team they're trying to fix and moving around or whatever. And he says, usually when we go to training camp, we've installed the special teams, the offense and defense 5 times during the offseason. He went to training camp this year, first time that we did all that to the football team. So it kind of illustrates what a lot of coaches were up against with no practice or no meetings or anything during the offseason.
Yeah, he said the other part, too, was just less time to form opinions. Usually by this time of year, the coaching staff and player personnel have a pretty good idea of who's going to make the team. Right now, there are spots still up in the air as a timeout is taken. Indianapolis uses a timeout. When it comes to solving mysteries, she can do anything but forget. Poppy Montgomery stars in the new drama Unforgettable. It premieres Tuesday, September 20th, only CBS. And obviously not just the Colts coaching staff, all coaching staffs around the NFL. You're trying to squeeze a lot in, Phil.
Yeah, that's right. But I think for some coaching staffs, I look at the Green Bay Packers, I almost think the strike was probably a blessing for them.
Really?
Because they played so long, the Super Bowl's over, they had a break from their building, from that environment, and of course physically they got that break too. They have to go through the mini camps and the OTAs. They're a veteran football team, basically with their whole team back. I think it was a plus.
On 3rd and 1, good effort there as Carter gets the first down yardage. Howard Green there defensively.
Well, that's what they wanted to see that time. There was nothing there. He made it. He just ran full speed in there and got it done. And you saw Howard Green the big run stopper inside. He has been a bigger reason as anything why the Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl, number 95. Boy, it's a good job by Carter getting the extra yard.
This is a guy, Howard Green, who was cut 10 times in his NFL career and has found a home with the Green Bay Packers.
Well, he's the one that got the pressure on Ben Roethlisberger that resulted in the interception that led to a touchdown. And he did it against Pittsburgh's best offensive lineman, too. I think Dom Capers was saying they picked him up. He showed up.
He got cut by the Jets. He was driving to Louisiana. They couldn't find him. They could not find the guy. They finally get in touch with him and say, hey, can you make your way to Green Bay? And he did, and look what ends up happening.
They ended up playing like 38 plays like the following day in a game, and I like your answer to when Dom Capers was telling you that. You said, what, no cell service?
Yeah, Dom kept going with the story. He was focused. And a big opening for Carter, and he coughs it up. Indianapolis turns it over. Josh Gordy on the return for Green Bay, and Gordy is thrown out of bounds. So Carter did everything right up until the end of the play where he could not secure the football. Costly.
Well, he just did an awesome job. A little cut back, good blocking by the offensive line. And when he cut back, he gets to the open field. And I'll tell you, in the NFL, when you're running, if it's even full speed with nobody in front of you, somebody's going to catch you from behind. And that time, that's why Carter fumbled the football.
Well, the fans thought he was down. They just saw it on the big screen, and apparently Coach Caldwell felt the same way.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble.
We'll take another look at it with DeLon Carter.
Vic Soato is the one that gets behind him and pulls it out. Oh, yes, he could. As I was watching the first replay, I didn't even see it. Is he down? Oh, yeah, his knee's down. Absolutely. From that angle, it looked like he held onto the football long enough.
If it stands, it's the second forced fumble for the rookie out of BYU tonight. Well, they're going to take a look at it with Walt Anderson getting ready to see the replay under review on the coach's challenge.
Well, we're going to have to see something conclusive. And when he's on the ground there, Ian, can you see the football and declare that it's not coming loose? Down.
Right at the end, you see movement, but it's bang, bang. After that second look, I think he was down.
I do too. I think that was enough information in the second replay that led me to believe he was down before the football came loose.
DeLon Carter put on his helmet and acting as if he's going to be very relieved. And you see that right knee was down.
Here's the football, if you can see it. Looks like he still has control of it.
Yep. And that's when So'oto was able to get a piece of it and poke it loose as Carter lost his helmet in the process. Carter out of Akron, Ohio, muscular 5'9", 225 pounds, and could turn into a viable short yardage option for this Indianapolis offense.
Boy, his helmet, well, I can see why his helmet came off. It was pulled from underneath. Of course, anytime a runner, receiver, anybody with the football, their helmet comes off, the play is automatically dead now if they're still standing up.
First roster cuts will come on Tuesday. Teams have to get down to 80. Normally they have to get to 75, but the league determined just because of the truncated offseason that they're going to give the teams a little bit more wiggle room with their roster.
They want to keep more people around so they can get more quality practices.
That's what you think it is?
Absolutely, that's what it is. So your starters don't have to go over there and mimic the team you're going to play. You get the guys that are the backups that probably won't make the team. That's who's going over there giving you those pictures.
Then September 3rd, the rosters have to be trimmed to 53. And I think probably more this year than any other year, you're going to see so much movement after those cuts.
After reviewing the play, the runner's right knee was on the ground and he had control of the ball. It'll be Indianapolis ball at the 39-yard line. Indianapolis is not charged with a timeout.
Well, Carter can exhale. Obviously, the coaches will still talk to him about making sure you hold on to the football, but it doesn't go down officially as a fumble.
Yeah, you know, some coaches, and mainly the ones that I used to listen to when I played for the Giants, they treat it just like a fumble.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they'd kill you in the meeting.
You don't catch a break.
No.
You raise your hand and say, Coach, that actually was not a fumble.
Yeah, no.
Officially, if you take out the stat sheet.
No, you know, see, you got to remember, sometimes coaches, they can just never pass up the chance to get on you. You know what I mean? If that's the way they coach, and I really mean that. If you're not a negative, but a very forceful coaching staff, you're looking to reinforce your rules and what you believe all the time.
So it is a first down for Indianapolis, just short of the 40-yard line. We're winding down in this third quarter with the Colts in front of the Packers 14-13. Orlovsky throws. Low throw. It's handled by another Syracuse product, Taj Smith. 13-yard hookup. And another first down for Indianapolis.
Well, this is just a staple of the Colts offense. I've seen it all night. That's really all they've done is just run what they do all the time in the games. Nothing unique or different, but it's play action pass. Let the receivers run down the field far enough where the corners think he's going deep. They panic, and you're able to stop, come back, and be open. So good job by Dan Orlovsky hanging in there, and a good catch by Smith.
Colts are into Green Bay territory. Under a minute to go now in this third quarter. Orlovsky, play fake. Out route. And a little too far outside the numbers. He was trying to hit Taj Smith on the perimeter. From the producer of Sex and the City, the new comedy Two Broke Girls. It premieres Monday, September 19th, right after 2.5 Men, only CBS. Second down for the Indianapolis offense. Dan Orlovsky seeing extended action in this second half. Painter did play into the third quarter, and then Jim Caldwell made the change. Kerry Collins in uniform tonight after getting picked up just a couple of days ago. On the pitch, Carter, an elusive spin move, and Carter, well-earned 5-yard gain as he made Devon House, rookie out of New Mexico State, miss on the cut.
Yeah, it was a good job. What it is, it's just a different way of running the sweep for the Indianapolis Colts. They get those bunches there. It gives the receivers, tight ends, good angles. They can make blocks, and it enables them to get outside once the quarterback gets it to the running back.
Now, this is a Colts team that battled so many injuries in 2010. Obviously, the one that everybody is focusing in on right now deals with Peyton Manning after the neck surgery in May. And our own Sam Ryan had a chance to talk to Peyton earlier. A sack. Green Bay's defense collapsing on Orlovsky. Jamari Lattimore, rookie out of Middle Tennessee State, gets into the sack column. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth. Indianapolis leads it 14-13. Back to Indianapolis in a moment. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Fourth quarter action here in Indianapolis. Ian Eagle, Phil Simms, Sam Ryan, and the rest of our CBS Sports crew. Third week of the preseason. And the Indianapolis Colts with a 14-13 lead over Green Bay. Pat McAfee to punt. Kerry Taylor is deep. Taylor, returnable, catches cleanly at the 10, and able to move it out to the 20-yard line as Nate Triplett makes the play on special teams. Coming up tomorrow night, preseason action, primetime matchup, New England at Detroit, the Patriots and the Lions. The NFL on CBS. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, and Leslie Visser have the call for you from Ford Field. Graham Harrell now on to run the offense for the Green Bay Packers. Third-string quarterback out of Texas Tech, part of the Packers practice squad last season. Now he's going to get his opportunity to direct this offense as we open up the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of work in the preseason. Mike McCarthy, the team, very happy with his progress.
Oh, nearly picked off. Telegraphed it. Mike Newton with a diving attempt.
Yeah, how about that? I just walked right into that. They're very happy, but he looks it off. He's looking down the field. He turns and throws, but what reaction? trying to get him an easy throw to start the game with. And it almost backfired. Newton, excellent. Feeling the receiver outside and making the play underneath.
Demetrius Nance now in the game at running back, and Nance gets the call here. Trying to cut it to the outside, and Nance got chopped down by Adrian Moten.
I think Mike McCarthy, when this game is over tonight, he's going to say, well, we accomplished what I want. He got the second half. He's got his backups in there. And there was enough that went on in the first half, even though they were losing when intermission came, that was positive. The passing game looked good. Ryan Grant got some runs. His blitz packages, they got to work those on the defensive side. They worked. And I think that's really all they were looking to do here.
3rd and 8 now for Green Bay. Harrell throwing on the move and dropped. Should have been a first down to the rookie out of Arkansas, 5th-round pick, DJ Williams, the John Mackey Award winner as the top collegiate tight end last season.
DJ Williams, that's a surprise. He has good hands, and he can run. Watching him before the game, I was going, wow, that's a fast wide receiver. And I look down and I see his number. I go, oh, that's DJ Williams, the draft pick from Arkansas.
Out of Little Rock, 245 pounds at 6'2". Tim Mastay to punt it, and David Gilreath waiting for it at his own 24-yard line. High punt from Mastay.
Here we go, here we go.
Gilreath able to move backwards and catch it, but not a lot of room to work with in front of him. So Indianapolis gets it back after the 58-yard punt. The Colts in front of the Packers by 1. Indianapolis 14, Green Bay 13, early stages 4th quarter as we send it downstairs to Sam Ryan.
And Ian with a leader on the Packers defense, Charles Woodson. Now, Charles, we all remember the broken collarbone you suffered in the Super Bowl, but your teammates, they're saying that they forget about it because you look so healthy out there. How is it right now?
Feels great. You know, I've gone through all of training camp. I've had some knockdowns. I've had a couple tackles. I've hit some people, and it feels good. So, you know, like the guys say, I don't have any ill effects of it, and I'm out there running around feeling good.
I mentioned the Super Bowl. You won the Heisman Trophy, national championship. To finally get that elusive Super Bowl win, what was the offseason like for you?
I mean, it was great. You know, just to know that you're a champion, going through the offseason, getting to that ring night, and finally getting the ring, and just feeling good about the accomplishment that you had as a team. And it just felt good, and it feels good now getting back into this season and hopefully trying to get back and repeat.
When speaking of you, Dom Capers talks about your versatility, talking about challenging you all the time. What is it about playing for Green Bay that has reinvented your career?
You know what? It's all about energy, I believe. You know, it's just positive energy around there. I believe this organization has just accepted me for who I am. And then bringing Dom in and bringing the staff in that he has. And the influence that they've had on all of the players, and allowing me to just go out there and play football, move around a lot, play multiple positions, has just allowed me to be the football player that I love to be. I just like to be all over the field, and he's allowed me to do that.
And besides player, you're taking on the role of mentor to some of the younger guys. What do you take from that?
You know, I have to try to help out where I can because I'm all about winning. And if I can help out with the younger guys or guys on this team who come in from other teams, then that means I'm doing my job. And so I think those guys feed off of me. They learn from me. And if they can go out there and take something from my game, put it to their game, and go out there and make plays, then we should be a good football team.
Charles, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Sam, Charles, thank you. 3rd and 3 here for Indianapolis, and Orlovsky throwing. It's broken up. He was trying to hit Gilreath, but Devon House was over there defensively.
Well, it's interesting just to listen to that conversation with Charles Woodson and Sam Ryan, but there's a lot I could say about it. But the one thing, coaching is so important in the NFL. And when you got a player with ability and you got a coach that's creative, coaches can make stars. And we didn't see this with Charles Woodson in Oakland, but he's came here, it's reinventing him, gets to move everywhere, he gets to do it all, and he's accepted the challenge, and he has absolutely been great at the role they've created for him.
And Capers said, we use him in a similar way that we used Hall of Famer Rod Woodson in Pittsburgh. Same last name, no relation, but he said both guys just could see the big picture. We'll come back. Here. NFL on CBS is back. Indianapolis and Green Bay. Preseason action, week 3 of the preseason as we get a little bit closer to the regular season opener. Dimitri Nance on the carry. Let's take you back to the Super Bowl with eye control, Phil.
Well, let's do it. 6 minutes ago, important drive. Greg Jennings down the middle. The safeties are splitting. They've been throwing it down the middle the whole game. I want you to watch Aaron Rodgers here. Look how tight the coverage is. Look at Greg Jennings in the slot. You can't even see the receiver, but about 6 inches. He lets it go, throws it like a rocket, gets in there, and that was the play that really put it away for the Green Bay Packers.
2nd and 8 for the Packers. 31-25 win over Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl in Arlington, Texas, in front of 103,219 fans.
But could you see when you were watching that play how small of a window Aaron Rodgers threw into?
There was nothing there.
Nothing. He just anticipation, confidence in his arm, of course feeling good because he was playing awesome up to that point. And as Rich Gannon said when he was in here, there were 5 or 6 throws in the game. You just go, wow. You know, that's why, that's what separates him from other quarterbacks in the NFL.
Packers had 1 first down this half. This is a 3rd and 2 for Green Bay. And nobody home. Harrell trying to hit DJ Williams.
Yeah, he had him.
There was separation there for the tight end, but overthrew him.
But DJ Williams, I am impressed. I know it's backup defensive players, but he is separating them when he goes down the field. You know, tight ends, you say, oh, he's a pretty big guy. He won't be that fast.
So now you couple him with a Jermichael Finley, who's back.
Well, Green Bay needed some more vertical speed. They weren't happy. They needed more.
Really?
Yeah, so they get Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's an embarrassment of riches.
Randall Cobb.
David Gilreath on the return for Indianapolis. And Gilreath cutting it to the outside. And good play by Mastay to slow him down and lean in to get him towards the sideline. That's a 58-yard punt, but a 30-yard return.
Back to Indianapolis. Now, there's been a lot of attention on concussions in the NFL. Austin Collie of the Colts suffered 2 of them last season. He is trying out a new prototype helmet this season along with 4 of his teammates on the Colts. It's right here if you take a look at it. Now, the shell is carbon Kevlar. This is really lightweight. This one in particular is only 2.6 pounds. This is created by Bill Simpson. If you're familiar with racing, he's a racing safety expert. Now, Bill told me that they basically drop it 43 times, 3 different locations on the helmet. They test it out. And he said a lot of guys are apprehensive because it is so lightweight. I talked to Jeff Saturday about it. He said what really impresses him is the face mask. There are shock absorbers over here, and he said gives a lot of give there in the face mask. Guys?
Yeah, Austin Collie, Dwight Freeney, Dallas Clark, Jeff Saturday, Ryan Dean will all wear the helmets this season, and Collie was raving about it when we sat down with him a couple of days ago.
So was Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, he was.
There's a shock absorber for the lineman and the face mask, which he says is the best.
Darren Evans with that run for Indianapolis and for Collie, who dealt with 2 concussions last season. Collie then dealt with a reoccurrence as well. Look, you hope for the best with Austin Collie. He is really talented. He has turned himself into a terrific weapon.
And you know, I think you're right, Ian. I think he feels like he's on the way back. He's getting close. He says he's doesn't feel lethargic anymore, has energy. His workouts are going well, and he told us about some of the things he's doing to really get his concentration back to where he wants it.
And it's Evans once again, rookie out of Virginia Tech. Austin Collie, he can go full speed in practice. Suffered a pair of concussions last year. First one was against Philadelphia. Second one came against Jacksonville, and then eventually placed on injured reserve on December the 22nd. He said working with a tennis ball machine, which is actually something he did before the concussions, but he's now done that more for concentration.
Yeah, to look away, the tennis ball shot, that he turns and finds it so he can really focus on what he's trying to do. That was pretty awesome to hear. And you know, I think the thing, he was so disappointed. He said, I was in such a groove and doing well.
And a flag thrown as Taj Smith, the intended receiver, able to haul it in. But it's got the look of a hold, at least in the area of the field at the 43-yard line.
Holding number 61, offense. Penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
That's Jamie Richard. They came up short of the first down either way, so the Packers will force the Colts to punt. Collie, that's another weapon that should be coming back. And also Anthony Gonzalez, who's been a forgotten man the last couple of years just because of a variety of injuries. And we had a chance to sit down with Gonzalez as well. He's got a tweaked right hamstring.
Oh,
he's had hamstring issues going back to his high school days, he said.
He had such a great offseason. He got to throw with Peyton Manning a lot before Peyton Manning's neck went bad. And of course, the hamstring comes up. But he's pretty confident the time is coming. He'll be back 100%.
Boy, that ball died, although it did touch on the goal line, so it's a touchback. But a great punt by McAfee, 47 yards, a net of just 27. Colts 14, Packers 13 with 8:40 to play in this fourth quarter. And Green Bay takes over with a 1st and 10 at the 20. There has not been a first down in this quarter from either team. Indianapolis Colts will open up the season against the Houston Texans, a game we'll have for you here on CBS.
You know, I almost believe that both teams are sitting here going, okay, it's almost here. The Packers are going 2 weeks, New Orleans Saints.
That actually opens up the season in the NFL as Brandon Sane gets the call. How about this one? The Packers, this is their 91st NFL regular season, Phil. They will play on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. That's the first team in NFL history to do that in the same season.
Well, those things happen when you win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's funny how that works out.
You're going to be in prime time. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers, they have such an unbelievable following. And if you want to get a lot of people to watch TV, just put them on.
2nd and 9 for Green Bay. Graham Harrell swings it to the outside, and it's Sane. A collision out along the sideline as Sane got hit by Terrence Johnson in his first year out of California, Pennsylvania. And Packers fans, they travel all over the country. This actually is not a bad trip.
No, it's not, but I came down in the hotel lobby at 4 o'clock today to come over here for the game, and there were cheeseheads everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And all coming in for the game. It's incredible. They're the only team, when you go to do a game at their stadium, when the players come out to have their warm-ups, everybody's in their seat because they want to make sure their team warms up well.
You're right.
Watch it. That's how they doing.
How about the expansion, Lambeau Field? That was announced, 6,600 new seats, 2 new video boards. They already put in a new sound system as Sane gets hit. And a loss of 1 on the play, John Gill. CBS. Oh, I get it. Yeah, cheese, beer, and Super Bowl champs. Where's your cheesehead, Phil?
I didn't see that at the bottom. Yes, that's nice. Thank you. Where's my cheesehead?
Yeah, that was like an add-on. We could grab that one.
Well, it's in my closet at home.
Really? Yeah.
I have a lot of things hidden there.
4th down now. Mastay punting to Gilreath. Fair catch. And he's got it at the 31 with 6:31 remaining. 41-yard punt. All right, let's do some more broad issues in the NFL. Nnamdi Asomugha signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. Matt Hasselbeck signing with the Tennessee Titans. Sidney Rice was in Minnesota. Now he's in Seattle. Tell me about the impact.
I say Matt Hasselbeck at Tennessee.
You like that. You think that's a good fit.
What's there not to like? It's a team that's got a lot of good parts to it already. Good offensive line, good defensive line, running back situation, veteran quarterback who's been overlooked basically his whole career. I think it's a really good situation for Matt Hasselbeck and the Titans.
Orlovsky with a throw underneath. He got hit by Jamari Lattimore, able to get rid of it out towards the outside. Tyson Devry with the grab. But what about that running back situation? Because Chris Johnson still is not in camp.
You're right. I don't know if he'll be there for the opening game. The fact that he left and went back home this past couple of days. But I'm saying this, Ian, whoever's back there is going to do pretty well.
Really?
The head coach.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter.
Bruce Matthews is there. They got talent. They're going to run the football.
On a give for Darren Evans. So Evans getting an opportunity here. Rookie out of Virginia Tech, Johnson. Numbers have been beyond impressive, and his abilities.
And of course, all that I just said, it's going to go well. They're going to run the ball well, with or without Chris Johnson. But if he's there,
yeah, they run it better.
They run it really better.
They definitely run it.
It's like I said earlier. You know, you take coaching and give it and have a guy with talent that you can get greatness. And you know, the Titans, they built that football team to hit the quarterback and run the football.
Are you buying into this Philadelphia all-star team? Nnamdi Asomugha and others.
Got to see more.
Yeah. Orlovsky. He is sacked by DJ Smith, rookie out of Appalachian State, a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah, he's another one. I tell you, the Green Bay Packers, they just had another tremendous year when it comes to draft picks. They hit them, and they're going to hit some home runs with the later picks. And you know, Alex Green, we talked about him, the running back. Randall Cobb, the 2nd-rounder. You know, the one that might play the least is their 1st-round draft pick early, Sherrod, just because offensive line sometimes hard to break in there.
McAfee punting. Kerry Taylor is back there for Green Bay. Shorter punt, but it takes an Indianapolis roll. McAfee gets a lot of spin on that football. He's a terrific punter. All right, rookie watch now. Cam Newton, the 1st overall draft pick, the Carolina Panthers. Von Miller of the Denver Broncos, the Butkus Award winner, and A.J. Green, wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Von Miller, like what I've seen so far, I've watched their exhibition games. You can see the explosion come out the end. A.J. Green, yeah, he's dropped a few, but who cares? He can really run. And he is going to be a dynamic player outside. Cam Newton, I thought he regressed, no doubt, against the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of pressure. You know, he's probably tired already just from everything that surrounds him.
Here's Harrell to throw for Green Bay. And Harrell's got pressure and floats it out of bounds. John Gill chasing him down, 1st-year defensive tackle out of Northwestern.
And you know, too, talking about quarterbacks, when you talk about making the adjustment to the NFL, the pure throwers always make the easiest adjustments. You look at all the rookie quarterbacks, you know, Andy Dalton and Green, in Cincinnati, he already looks comfortable.
Yeah.
Cam Newton's trying to learn to get under center, to drop back, do it a different way. It's harder. The same with Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker. The transition is not going to be as easy. You're taking a risk when you hope that transition works.
2nd and 10 now for Green Bay, under 5 minutes to go. Out of the pocket, flag is down, and Harrell darts out of bounds. Might have been Theo Sherman on the hold. Number 72, rookie out of James Madison.
And you know, I just want to finish that thought as Walt Coleman makes the call.
Holding, number 78, offense. Half the distance to the goal. It's still 2nd down.
Now they're actually, Derek Sherrod is going to get called on the hold. Rookie out of Mississippi State. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, I'm just talking about making a transition to the NFL. Look at Matt Stafford, Sam Bradford, Matt Ryan, Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez. They're pocket throwers, basically. So it was easy. So there's not that big of a transition for them. And, you know, we'll see.
A record 22 quarterbacks threw for 3,000 yards last season in the NFL, which obviously has something to do with the talent level, but also a lot to do with the philosophy.
The state of the game, spreading it out sideline to sideline, easier to throw it than get the tough yards running.
2nd and 19, and Sane leaning forward on Kevin Thomas. It's a 4-yard pickup. You know, sometimes a team goes out, wins a championship, and you think maybe it was just the circumstances, everything lining up for them, and it just worked in that one year. The Packers, you look at their team, you look at how they handled their business last year, it's hard to imagine that they would be a one-year wonder. This team is really talented and really comfortable with Mike McCarthy's offensive system and Tom Capers' defensive system. Harrell intercepted. It's picked off by Mike Newton. And Newton's got some room to work. Newton finally brought down inside the 5.
Well, it's the bread and butter play of the Green Bay Packers. The vertical passing inside. We've talked about it a lot tonight. We've seen Aaron Rodgers do it, but you have to be pinpoint accurate. When you overthrow against the Colts down the middle of the field, the safeties are going to be there waiting for the football. Newton in the right spot, absolutely in the perfect spot to defend the pass, and gets the overthrow for the interception.
So Newton almost had one earlier. It's a 39-yard return. Second-year safety from Buffalo. And the Colts have it. First and goal from the 3. Chad Spann is in, rookie out of Northern Illinois in the backfield. Colts trying to add to their lead. 3-receiver set. Orlovsky on the quick toss. Gil Reed, does he have the angle? He does. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Colts in front, 20-13, trying to win their first game of the preseason.
Yeah, it's a play the Colts run quite a bit. A little bubble screen to the outside. Both wide receivers getting away the defenders just enough. And Gil Reed does an excellent job of fighting through, showing a little power, and smart enough to realize where he's on the field to get that touchdown.
So Dan Orlovsky hooking up with David Gilreath. Adam Vinatieri on for the extra point.
I mean, that's a staple of the Colts offense down inside the 10-yard line. That little bubble screen there. They have every play I've almost seen tonight is something I've seen Peyton Manning run 50 times during the year.
Vinatieri knocks it through. It's 21-13 Indianapolis. 3:52 remaining now in this fourth quarter.
Well, let's go and look at, we talked about these quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I just want to show you something. And we're talking about quarterbacks. Look at Aaron Rodgers on the left in college. Hold the ball way back high, leaning forward to throw it. Really doesn't even look comfortable. But look how much he changed in a couple years. Relaxed, sitting on his back foot. Body, arm is much more alive and flexible and able to drive the ball with accuracy and everything. And my point is, if it's in you, you can change.
Well, let me ask the question, because you know where this is headed.
Well, there's a couple. There's a lot of them. One, Cam Newton's got to change.
Okay, that's one.
Okay.
Tim Tebow is the one that everybody is curious about. From a quarterback's perspective, can he change?
That's why I wanted to do this, just to show the difference in Aaron Rodgers, what he did. So I hear guys saying, you know, ex-quarterbacks, and we all have our own opinions. Mm-hmm. You can change. I see it with many, many quarterbacks. I can go down a list and name them. You can change. Aaron Rodgers, look how drastic that was.
You're right.
So if it's in Tim Tebow, he can change. If that talent is there, it just takes a lot of work. And, you know, the other thing is, let's don't panic.
Yeah.
It's the start of year 2. Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench for 3 years and fixed himself. So
I don't think Aaron could have grown that mustache at Cal either. So that changed as well. McAfee kicking off to Gary Taylor for Green Bay. Now an 8-point hole. Taylor hit along the sideline. Just the way Aaron Rodgers handled himself in the transition from Brett Favre to him getting the opportunity. You look back on it now, I'm not sure anybody could have handled it any better. And then to go out and perform at the level that he did.
Yeah, I never forget his 3rd year. He was still sitting on the bench. I went to practice, standing there, and I looked at, well, boy, that's an unbelievable throw by Brett. And I went, oh, that was Aaron Rodgers. Wow. Like, this is not the same guy I saw last year. It was like night and day.
And what is it? Maturity? Is it just an understanding? Is it coaching? All of it combined?
It's everything. Taught well, learning from Brett. And maybe the biggest thing is, like he said, I decided to be a thrower that was very natural. And that's what you see. Doesn't it look natural when you watch him throw?
It does. Aaron Rodgers joining a select group Green Bay Packers quarterbacks who have gone out and won the Super Bowl. Bart Starr,
Wow.
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Not a bad trio.
Yeah, they're spoiled up in Green Bay, no question.
Yep. 2nd and 6. They had Hasselbeck too.
Yeah.
He moved on to Seattle. They had Mark Brunell. Another one. They've had a knack through the years of finding guys. Torrey Gurley on the reception for Green Bay. He's a rookie out of South Carolina. 21-13. We are down to 2:50 remaining now in this fourth quarter. This is a series, Packers and Colts, that goes all the way back to 1953. First time that the Packers have played inside this new stadium, Lucas Oil Stadium. Preseason last year, Packers beat the Colts 59-24. Normally you say, well, why would you bring up a preseason game from a year ago? What does that have anything to do with it? You think that the Colts players remember it?
Oh, I know they do. I know the coaches sure did, talking to them on Wednesday. And, you know, there's something to get out of this game for the Colts. They're going to win. They made some good plays. The confidence level is going to go up. They got to feel a lot better about Curtis Painter if he has to play some in the opening game.
First down for the Packers. Harrell slings it on the sideline route to Kerry Taylor, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. We'll come back with the final stages of this fourth quarter, live from Indy. Indianapolis 21, Green Bay 13. Winding down in this preseason matchup, a 2nd and 1 for the Packers, just shy of midfield. Harrell is 6 of 11, 35 yards and an interception. Harrell on the soft toss for Sane and a first down. So Sane takes it to the 45. Packers trying to speed up here with 1:42 left, trailing by 8.
Yeah, I said Indianapolis is going to win the game. Of course, that's not true. They can still score, tie it up with a 2-point conversion.
Harrell put up big numbers at Texas Tech. That pass underneath, able to complete it to Ryan Taylor.
Yeah, there you go. That was definitely too late of a hit.
So the flag comes down at the 32-yard line.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 49, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Not smart. 1:27 to play, and the Packers will now have it at the 22 of Indianapolis. Only the 2nd Indianapolis penalty of the night. Jim Caldwell trying to get his team to the finish line here and get a win in the preseason. First down for the Packers. Shotgun, Harrell. And a drop over the middle, Kerry Taylor. And another flag comes down. This one thrown at the 33. Been a clean game throughout.
Tony, number 49, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And that's Chip Vaughn. Oh boy, Jim Caldwell's not going to.
Yeah, they're going to take him out of the game. That's what they're going to do. That's the first thing Jim Caldwell did. He turned to the other coaches, said, "Get him out," and he's bringing back in David Caldwell, who started tonight.
Vaughn's a Wake Forest guy too. That's Jim Caldwell's background. Coached 8 years as the head man at Wake. So another first down. Harrell throwing, and Taylor getting knocked around after making the catch. They will spot the football at the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 4. Joe LaFedge along with Terrence Johnson there to bring them down. Under a minute to go now. Packers could really make this interesting. And a sack. Harrell goes down. It's Philip Wheeler. So Wheeler, who is a starting caliber linebacker in there against second and third teamers comes up with a sack.
Philip Weaver on the outside. Oh, nice job. Just dips under the block of the right tackle and able to get in there and sack the quarterback. Newhouse just not quick enough for Philip Weaver.
Newhouse, a 5th-round pick last year out of TCU. Mike McCarthy has 49 seconds left to work with and 2 timeouts.
Do you think if the Packers score that Mike McCarthy will decline to try for 2?
I don't know. What do you do? They want to move on too.
Yeah, they do. Well, you get in and try the 2-point conversion, run a quarterback sneak.
3rd and 10. First things first, let's see if the Packers can get it in. Harrell throws, almost intercepted. Terrence Johnson got his hands on it, and it's 4th down.
Really nice job dropping back in the zone, just protect the end zone line. And Terrence Johnson, once he saw Graham Harrell turn to the right, he's breaking right across. Excellent job.
Down to 45 seconds left. 4th down for the Packers. Shotgun for Harrell. Rush coming. Harrell on the move. Stops. Harrell throws. Touchdown! Ryan Taylor. The Packers have cut it to 2. So Vaughn called on back-to-back penalties for Indianapolis, and the Packers take advantage.
Yeah, good job, Graham Harrell buying the extra time. Taylor was in the back of the end zone, uncovered for a long time, and he finally saw him. Really made a good throw by Graham Harrell.
Taylor, a 7th-round pick out of North Carolina. Now Mike McCarthy is going to go for 2. 35 seconds to play. Oh, boy. For the tie. Harrell. They've got it. And it's Taylor again. 21 apiece. 35 seconds left. You asked the question, we got the answer. Mike McCarthy's going for 2, and he's getting it.
Well, it's a good job just looking inside. The defense is going to drop. Graham Harrell is going to find him as he moves around. And a good job finally finding him in the back of the end zone.
We are tied at 21 with 35 seconds remaining now in this 4th quarter.
I was a little off on my eye control. I thought I was doing the 2-point conversion, so I missed it, but that's okay.
What happened? That's all right. It's preseason.
Like I said, I'm 2 for 5 for 12 yards.
Yeah. Well, words you don't normally group together in the same sentence. Preseason overtime, which is very much a possibility now. Packers will kick it off with Mason Crosby. LaFage is deep. Onside kick. And the Packers have got it. What a turn this game has taken. M.D. Jennings on the recovery.
Yeah, it was just a good job by Mike McCarthy, willing to take a chance right here. And this is the reason why they still want the kickoff. Ian, everybody keeps talking about, well, they just get rid of the kickoff, start from the 20. It's because the onside kickers, they want to keep it alive because it's a big part of the game and it's exciting too.
So now the Packers are going for the win. 35 seconds left.
And they still have 2 timeouts.
From the gun. Harrell. Looked like that one bounced. It did. Trying to get it to Taylor. 31 seconds remaining. Mason Crosby. 56-yard field goal last year. Line of scrimmage is at the 47-yard line for Green Bay.
Well, you think they only need about 15 yards to get a long field goal try out of this. Even though the roof is open tonight, it's like playing indoors.
Yeah, no doubt. You haven't felt any of the elements. If anything, it's just a little bit cooler. Harrell. Oh, he's got the first down to Gurley. Torrey Gurley hauls it in. That's a 12-yard pickup through the air, and 25 seconds left.
Yeah, excellent job. Top of your screen. Just driving it off. It's anticipation by Graham Harrell is what gets that play done because the coverage was good.
So from here, we're looking at about a 59-yard field goal. You see that red target line. Certainly within the range of Mason Crosby. That catch made by Taylor. Oh, they rule it incomplete. 21 seconds left. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Packers. Well, Mike McCarthy was able to squeeze a lot in to the late stages of this fourth quarter. He got his backups in there, young players. He gets Harrell into a pressure situation, gets the touchdown, gets the 2-point conversion. Then they're able to get the onside kick to go in their favor. Now they're moving the football with a chance to win the game in regulation. Harrell, good throw, very comfortable to DJ Williams, and they certainly have the necessary yardage to get Crosby a legitimate shot. That's a 9-yard pickup, 3rd and 1.
And Green Bay's not going to try to get another playoff, even though they have the timeouts. They're going to run it down and just try to win it on the last second field goal try.
Crosby missed one earlier. Looking at a 51-yard attempt, depending upon where they set up. Missed one from 41 yards away. Crosby set a team record with 141 points back in 2007.
Well, you know, we're broadcasters, so we're not supposed to root what goes on here. But I'm just asking you, what are you hoping for?
Really?
No, never mind. Don't answer. Let's see if he can make it.
I'm hoping for dead, solid, perfect. I'll come out and say it. 50-yard attempt for Crosby. And a timeout called.
Well, you know, when you're in these preseason games, you always want a lot. Of course, you want your team to look good. You hope to get some situations that you never get in practice. You hear that all the time. Trying to kick a game-winning field goal, that's great for your kicker.
Sure.
There's no doubt about it. You know, you want to face adversity. You don't always want it to go well. You know, the worst thing you can do is like, oh, our preseason is great. We're really clicking on all cylinders. And the players believe it. Then all of a sudden they go out week 1 and they're 0-1.
Mason Crosby trying to end it here. A 50-yard attempt. Mastay will hold it. For the win. From 50 yards away, he knocks it through. And the Packers come from behind to defeat the Colts 24-21. Exciting preseason action and drama to the last bitter moment.
Well, you said it right. It was dead solid perfect. He hit it solids. It carries. It's 15 yards past the goalpost. So wonderful pressure kick.
11 points in 35 seconds for the Packers. They get the W. Final score, 24-21. Packers defeat the Colts. Coming up next, in most places, your late local news. For Phil Simms, Sam Ryan, our entire CBS crew, this is Ian Eagle. Phil, have a great year with Jim Nantz this season. So long from Indianapolis. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.